Hey everyone, what is going on? It is K2 Investing here. My name is Karen, and in this video, I want to go over how I made over $1,000 today day trading in the WeBull paper account. A paper trading account allows you to use fake money with no real risk while you use real-time data within the market to practice your entries and exits. This is a great way to see if you really have what it takes to be able to be successful in a very lucrative yet risky business of day trading within the stock market. For those of you who are new to the channel, I normally invest in Robinhood brokerage, and I am currently doing a long-term buy and hold strategy. The reason why I'm doing the long-term buy and hold strategy while I collect dividends is to wait for my overall portfolio account to get above $25,000. For those of you who do not know, in order to get past the pattern day trader rule, which is you can only do 3 day trades within a 5 trading day period, you need at least $25,000 within your account, and that will allow you to trade as often as you would like. When I originally got into the stock market, I was very interested in day trading, but I found out very, very quickly that it's extremely hard to be successful in that market. It takes a lot of research, a lot of self-discipline, and a lot of experience to really make a decent amount of money within the market that is worth your while. Because you can sit in front of a computer for 10 hours a day and make $10, and realistically, that's a waste of your time. So the more money you can make, the better off you are when it comes to actually maybe replacing it as your normal job or having a great way to make some passive income. Up on the screen is the WeBull download beta app, and this does not come default. This is something you actually have to download secondary, and the paper trading option is down here along the side. So you have your normal watch list stocks, your markets, your screener, how to trade, your actual account details, and then down here is where you have that paper trading option. And this entire screen that you see in front of me was made by me. All of these are little widgets and everything that I can add and set up in the way that I would like. And I'm going to go through that today with you guys and show you how I set up my account and why. But before that, let me jump into Google Chrome here, switch over to the WeBull.com, and this is where you can go actually download that desktop beta. So when you get to the WeBull website, you're going to go over to the download option here. And here is where you can pick whether you have a Windows or a Mac, depending on your operating system. I'm currently using my MacBook Air, so this is the Apple version, but you can get it on the Windows version as well, which honestly is normally where I use WeBull. I do have a Windows desktop, and the screen is bigger, so if you look here, you can see some of it's a little bit cut off, and I need to scroll over, and that's because this is actually set up for my Windows desktop, but the graphics stay the same regardless of where you log in. So because I have 2 computers, I can log into either one and it will automatically update it to match my account. So first and foremost, it's really important to understand how you want to see your actual WeBull setup. Making it very clear, concise, and simplified, in my opinion, is the easiest way to do it. So starting left to right, I have my actual paper account details so I can see exactly how much my overall P&L is, and then your day P&L. Because this is my first day trading this week, the actual overall is going to be up here, but if I were to day trade tomorrow, that day is going to flex down here, and then it will add to this total over here. I always start my account with $50,000. As you can see, $51,096. I refreshed it today, so adding those two together is my overall buying power. I have my watch list down here on the left. Here on the right is the actual chart itself with all the indicators I use. Scrolling over to the right, this is where you actually do your trade. So say I wanted to buy 100 shares at a limit price of $3.20. I would go ahead and hit paper trade here and have the buy highlighted. If I wanted to sell, I'll make sure I highlight the sell part. Once you initiate a trade, these are where these bottom boxes come into play. It will show up here under the working where it will say that it is pending, and once it actually completes, you will see the actual position here. Because the market is currently closed, it will be hard to actually show you guys that, but I did take a screenshot during the day while I was day trading so you can see exactly what it looks like with your position and your working. So here is a screenshot of me actively day trading today, and you can see here I had a position with Ford, an open position, and I had that sell set, and then I also had another buy set as well. So you can see these were working, these are waiting to actually complete, and this is the actual position that I had at the time. So every single one of these boxes is a widget. In order to add these widget settings, you're just going to go up here under the US stock paper trading, click on this little widget settings, and here is where you can add more stuff. So if I want another watch list, another position chart, another order chart, I can add all of this right here, and then I'll be able to actually move these boxes about to make them position exactly where I want them. And then when it comes to actual stocks, I'm going to go here to this, and the only thing I use here is obviously the trade, which is where this box pops up, and then the chart itself, which is here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this chart, and I'm going to start this chart over fresh so you can see exactly how I set up my indicators. Let me make it fit here real quick. All right, so First thing I like to do is change the line style. I personally prefer this type of candlestick for some reason. Not sure why, I just like the looks of it. All right, so now we're going to go to the indicators here. Here has my frequently used indicators, but I am going to go down here to all indicators just for the purposes of this video. So I like to use the moving average, the VWAP on the main chart, and here on the sub chart, I like to use the MACD and RSI. So we're going to scroll down to MACD and the RSI. So now you see I have these added indicators here, and when I scroll over the chart, it pops up the settings. So the VWAP, the MACD, and the RSI, I leave default. I like to keep it at 70-30 here for the RSI, and the only one I actually change is the moving average. The moving average is currently set to 5, so you see how tight it is with the candles here. So we are going to go ahead and update that. For day trading, I like to set the length to 15, and when I hit done, you see that it actually loosens that line up a bit. And when it comes to swing trading, if I'm interested in doing a more long-term buy and hold, I like to actually set that moving average to 30, and it will make that line even more loose so you can see exactly where those good entries and exits are. One thing to note is these little numbers here. You see how it says 1 down here in this box, 1 up here in this box, and 1 over here in this box, but it doesn't say anything here. What you want to do is you want to change this to the same one as those other boxes, because if not, so say I'm on Apple right now, I want to go to Tesla, it's going to change the chart, but it's not going to change the actual order. But if I were to set this group as the same group, it is going to automatically adjust to whichever one. So again, if I go back to Tesla, see how it changed Tesla here and Tesla here, so it will all be congruent, because you don't want to get in a situation where you want to buy in and your actual trading option is not the same as the chart that you're looking at, and that can cause a lot of issues and confusion. So you always want to make sure that these groups are set to the current box that you are in. This also allows you to have multiple subcharts. So say if I wanted to actually have 2 charts, I move this one over, make it smaller, add a chart, and actually set this one to 2. And I could set this to 2, and then it will then start going off of this chart. And I could get another one of these boxes so I could have multiple charts and multiple options up at the same time, but I'm not going to do that for this video. Keep it back at 1. So once you have your actual WeBull set up, one thing you need to look into is exactly what stock and ETF you find the most value in when it comes to day trading. There are 2 different options you have. You can go on to more of a risky one that has more movement than a regular stock or ETF, or you can go the more conservative route and pick something that you're more comfortable with, which is what I personally do. And one thing that I like to look at when it comes to actually picking a stock or ETF is the volume. The volume is extremely important. Not only the volume and how much that stock or ETF moves throughout the day. But if you want to buy a certain amount of shares of something, you need to have that average dollar volume. Otherwise, there's a good chance your orders will not execute. So for example, say you want to buy 1,000 shares of Ford at a certain price, that means there needs to be somebody willing to sell 1,000 shares at that certain price. So if nobody or those shares are not available, then you're not going to be able to actually complete that order. So the more funds and transfers that are happening within the stock or ETF, the more likely you are to have your actual order be completed. So it's really important to make sure you pick high volume stocks. And when I go to screen what I'm looking for, I use Robinhood. So my first ETF, for example, I'm going to use SPY. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see the average volume of 87.92 million, which is a pretty decent volume. I've done some research and I have found that as a general rule, an average dollar value of 20 million or greater provides pretty good liquidity when it comes to actually buying and selling on a day trading basis. If you have a larger account and you're gonna most likely be making larger purchases and larger positions, you're better off having something over 80 million. So SPY definitely fits that group where if I'm going to be taking really big positions like 500 to 1,000 shares when I'm doing my day trading, my best bet is to have, or average volume as it says here on Robinhood, over 80. But if you're just getting into it and you don't have a lot of equity to actually put into the market, anything over roughly 20 million, you have a good chance of your buys and sells actually executing. An example of that, let's go to KSS, Kohl's. Scroll down here. You'll see that the average volume is only 9.33 million. So honestly, Kohl's is not something that I would look into for a day trading option. Honestly, I wouldn't look at Kohl's for anything. I made the mistake of buying this and I regret it. But that's a whole nother video. Pretty decent dividend yield though, so that's nice. So to keep this video complete, let's use SPY, which is what I have been trading with. We're actually going to look in where I used my indicators to actually make decent entries and exits within my day trading. So because SPY is a less risky stock, meaning if we look at the 5-year chart, you see that the trend is definitely your friend here. So if you get into a bad position, there's a good chance that it will come back if you turn it into a swing or a weekly option. But as a day trader, that's not what you're looking for. This is a conservative route to go, but a lot of day traders like to look at more risky stocks. There are plenty of other options that are more risky because it has more movement throughout the day. Say you are more focused on the percent change, that you want to see something that can change up to 10% in a day because that's where you can really make some big gains. That's absolutely fine. The biggest thing is understanding risk management, which I will talk about here in a little bit. But because I am conservative in my training and I'm still learning, I try to get these more conservative ETFs like SPY because I have that cushion if I need it. Again, that's not exactly the right way to do it. Day traders are to get in and out and to do their risk management, but I'm going to use this one as an example. So what I'm looking for when I do my entries and exits are 3 main things. I want to see these candlesticks red, and I want to see them below this MA line. I want to see that the MACD is nice and red, and I want to see that the RSI is down here below this 30 mark. This indicates in 3 different ways that this ETF is potentially oversold, meaning that too many people have sold off of it, meaning that there's a lot of possibility that this direction could change as people start to buy in because it's at a better price point and you'll be able to sell off. Now, because this ETF is more conservative, as I said before, I am willing to try to get at the bottom, meaning I'm going to try to get it when these candles are still red and when everything is very low. If you're trading something more risky, my advice would be to wait until you see these candlesticks go up back above the moving average line and hold before you continue to add to your position. Because there is a possibility, since it's such a risky, high volatile stock, that you can think you're at the bottom, but it's going to continue to sell off just because it moves so quickly and so drastically. The actual trend is hard to follow for the most part. So you want to wait and get that confirmation that it's back up above that moving average line before you actually take a position. Now, when it comes to my exits, I try to look at the previous high point. So if I get in at this great entry here at 319, I know that previously it went up to 320.56 and it held pretty decent right here at that 320.50 line. So when it gets back to that 320.50, I'm going to lock in profits. As you can tell here, it continued to rally all the way up to 321, but again, being a little more on the conservative side, I'm just going to lock in my profits. And this was a little bit more towards the end of the day, but you can see scrolling over how that actual technique played out very similar at a lot of different times throughout the day here. You can see again, red, red, low, buy in, sell off, wait for it to go low again, buy in, sell off. Some of these dips are not as big as others, but if you have more money to have a bigger position, 10, 20, 30 cent change can actually go a long way if you have like 500 shares of this particular ETF. So that is what I did multiple times throughout the day. I did this not only in SPY, but also on Ford. Now, Ford is a good option for day trading. It has a decent volume, and it is also a cheaper stock to buy, so you can get more positions in. But because of that lower volume, sometimes your entries and exits don't always execute when you would like it to, so that makes it a little bit more risky. And that's where paper trading can actually make you forget about that, because paper trading doesn't go off of volume. The second you put in your limit order and it hits that amount, is going to execute for you. So you have to still be in that mindset. That's one of the downfalls of paper trading, is it's going to execute when in a real market it might not. So just keep that in mind. But the thing about Ford that is not the greatest is if you look at its overall, you can see the trend here is not really your friend. Red, 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 red. So that's a more risky one, but I think Ford overall can be quite beneficial when it comes to day trading or short swing trades. And I just like to try out my skills in different platforms within different stocks that operate and react differently, so I can kind of make my knowledge a little bit more well-rounded within the market. So guys, that's what I have on the WeBull portion of this video. I hope this helped you at all. If you did find it helpful, please hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, please put that down below. But I am going to, as promised, go into my actual Robinhood account real quick for you guys and talk about how I put those things that I learned into practice in the real world here with SPY back on the 14th. So I used all 3 of my day trades, and I was trading with roughly $3,000. And I'm going to go down here to the history so you can see exactly where I bought and sold. So as I mentioned before, I was trading with about $3,000, and My goal when I am day trading is to make at least 1%. So 1% of $3,000 is $30. So because of that, with having 3 day trades available, I wanted to make at least $10 per trade. And I'm going to show you my entries and exits here that all happened on the 14th. So I had 2 shares to begin with SPY. I decided to just sell it all off to be able to utilize that extra $600 within my day trading. So because I bought it previously within the holding, it didn't count as a day trade because I bought it like weeks ago. So it doesn't actually count. So I still had 3 left. So my first trade here was I bought 9 shares at $2,835 on July 14th. And then I sold it on the same day, $2,844.11. I miscalculated a little bit. It wasn't quite $10. It was $9.11. So I knew I had to make up for that a little bit on the next trade. So I bought in again when it dropped, $2,839.40. Put in a sell, changed my limit price, so I canceled it, and then I was able to sell those 9 shares again, $2,850.30, which totaled in $10.90. So I was able to make up for that last trade on that one. Wanted to buy in again, changed my mind, canceled it, decided to buy in a different price point here, 9 shares, $2,847.67. Sold those 9 shares, $2,858.40 for a total of $10.73. So overall, I made roughly $31, which hit that 1% goal. Doesn't sound like a lot. I made $30 in 5 days because now I can't day trade again. But once I build up some equity and building up my confidence, I'll be able to start trading with more. To say, if I change that to, times that by 3,000 by 3 is 9,000. So if I'm using $9,000 with the same idea of making 1%, take that $30 I made, times that by 3, I just made $90 in one day just trading in the market. So there is a lot of possibilities to make money day trading. The biggest thing also to keep in mind is just having obtainable goals. That's why I keep it at 1%. Trying to be like, I'm going to make 30% in one day is a little unrealistic, extremely risky. So if you make small, possible, attainable gains, it's going to help you with your confidence. I feel really good about these buys and sells that I made. I kept with my trading plan. I kept patient, making sure, waiting till I hit all 3 of those indicators that I look for, because I could have bought in at one point here, like, oh, it's showing red, let me buy in here. But no, I waited. I was patient for a better entry so I could get the best possible gain for that entire day. So guys, that's it for this video. The Robinhood account is sitting very, very close to that $25,000 that I need so I can really start day trading within the market, and I'm excited for that to finally happen. But if you guys are interested and you want to come along on this journey with me, please hit that subscribe button. I consider myself sort of self-taught when it comes to the market. Everything that I'm talking to you guys about, I learned on my own when it comes to YouTube or Google. I did not take any courses. I did not do any of that. It was straight up making bonehead moves, learning the hard way within the market, watching YouTube videos, doing those Google searches, doing that research to really pay off. And it's taken me a few years, but I feel like I'm in a very comfortable and good position to actually be successful within this very lucrative market, and I'm excited. So I hope you guys want to join me on that journey. If you found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, please hit that like button. If you have any questions, any concerns, or just want to say, hey, I love interacting with you guys, go ahead and put that down in the comments. For all my great supporters and subscribers, I thank you. I just, again, blown away. I've said this in the last few videos, but absolutely out of my mind on how much support I'm getting from the YouTube community. I never thought I would ever even have like 10 subscribers, and here I am sitting with over 560. So I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to maybe potentially monetize and start doing some content in front of the camera. But as always, guys, I hope you stay green, you stay classy, and you make your moves with that kinetic knowledge. Take it easy.